multitudes of things we're experiencing at this moment with several crises, economic, war in Ukraine. Everybody's impacted in so many ways. But if we zoom out, we still believe that climate crisis is the biggest one that we need to tackle as humanity. And as such, of course, it's intertangled with us not only addressing and mitigating climate change, but actually also approaching economy 2.0, how we build an economy where we can be winners in a resource smart environment.
We've obviously talked a lot about your business in terms of the sales that you've now lost ultimately in Russia as you've pulled out. So Martin Sorrell was just saying that we haven't really taken on board the full ramifications of this war in so many other areas, in deglobalization of finance, supply chains and so forth. Could you share with us perhaps how you think that may impact your group specifically?
Well, you can say in our group, it's about 4% of our sales that was connected to Russia and Ukraine. And then I would say in the totality, we have more questions than answers, of course, at this moment. But the bandwidth of our scenarios for the future are very broad, broader than ever. But they also include, I would say, some signs of optimism when it comes to supply chains coming back after pandemics. In our business, we still see how the importance of life at home is, of course, on the agenda for people in every market out there. So that's, I think, unique. But even more important, we see the first signs that it's actually not only possible to decouple growth and carbon, but it's actually a smart thing to do from a financial perspective.
From employees to Svenska Köttbullar to Mound bookcases, or you name it, or Chester drawers.
Swedish is fantastic.
Tack så mycket. Jag pratar bara lite svenska. But the point is, you have cost pressures absolutely everywhere. How intense are they? And you talked about Russia, Ukraine. Of course, that has upped the price of food. It's upped the price of a lot of raw materials and upped the price of logistics as well.
I think, first of all, our generation of leaders most of us have not experienced inflation or the type of inflation that we see right now. So it's a new concept that we are trying to get our heads onto. At the same time, I think it's so much, in our case, connected with the disturbance of supply chains, which was, of course, caused by the pandemic. So again, a few years ago, I spoke about inflation. Quite few people did at that time. And I would like to say that one of the options for the future will be, of course, deflationary scenarios as well, when things get stabilized, when we get some balance into supply chains, when demand and supply gets into a more normal shape. So I guess the summary is it's very hard to predict, so we need to work with scenario planning.